Guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am talking about kind of preparing for boot camp. Basically, it's gone down like this. I've been working on a treadmill, trying to get up to the 1.5 mile run, like endurance-wise, so I can actually run the whole thing without stopping. And so I've been working on that, and I've been working on push-ups and sit-ups. Well, today, which is the 8th of January, I went to my first DEPS meeting, which is, it stands for something like a delayed entry program something, service or something like that. If it has an S in it, we're just going to say it's service for now until I actually look it up, because I don't really know. But basically what it is a program that the Navy started a while back to help potential sailors or future sailors pass the PRT tests in boot camp. It's a very, I would say it's a very good program, but at the same time it is very, very intense, like for somebody who doesn't do a lot of exercise. Now, basically what I ended up doing to help prepare for boot camp was, and I thought this was enough, it was nowhere near enough for my first DEPS, and I'm not gonna lie, DEPS about killed me. So what it is you go in there with about 20 other people that are future sailors. I'm using the term future sailors because we're not officially in. Officially, we are part of the Navy. We're recruits. We are part of the U.S. government, but we're not active yet. So anyone who isn't active, who hasn't been to boot camp yet, is considered a future sailor. We have no rank. We have no, no paycheck. None of that stuff. We're waiting to ship out to boot camp, basically. So you go into a room, and this one happens to be at a recreation center down in, I believe they said North Liberty is where it's called. What it's called. It's a pretty small town. It's a suburb of Coralville, here in Iowa. And you go in there, you're in there with 20 other guys or gals. We actually had a couple girls in there this time. And they show you everything you need to be doing to prepare for boot camp. They teach you the 11 general orders or standing orders, whatever they're called. And they teach you the Sailor's Creed, but they don't hold your hand. If I were to put to compare to anything, it would honestly be like boot camp, but a lot nicer. Exactly, a nice version of boot camp. My sister points that out. That's basically what it is. The petty officers, they're all chief petty officers. You don't call them sir, apparently. I learned that today. You call them chief. That's what they do. I guess, I don't know. I guess they find sir it's just not their thing. So you call them chief. You don't call them petty. You don't call them sir. They care about what you do, and what I mean by that is they want to know every little health thing that you that could prevent you from working out with them that day. They apparently do that every week. They say, have you been sick? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you broken a leg? You know, anything to get them, to make sure that you're still fit. So what we ended up doing is the first thing that happened was this was my first time. So me and 4 other people, there was 3 guys and a girl. We all stood up, introduced ourselves, said where we were from, basically when we're shipping out. Me, March 18th. And then that's pretty much it. We told them something about us. Like, for example, this was just a little bit of fun. What our favorite movie is. For me, I'd have to say The Mummy. I love The Mummy. It's the first one. A lot of people don't remember it, apparently. Like, only one guy actually remembered it from that, and they're all way older than me. So, anyway, after introductions, we all had to stand at attention. Now, standing for attention is you have to stand straight up, feet at a 45-degree angle. If I can get my cameraman to stand up and to actually let me demonstrate this. Yeah, meanie. You're a cameraman. So you have your hands balled up into kind of like a fist, not quite a fist. Straight at your sides, feet 45-degree angle. This is attention. So you stand like this and you give the Sailor's Creed, which I haven't memorized yet.
Have the paper if you want it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll do that. We'll do that some other time. So that's basically attention. Now, after that, like I said, they do the Sailor's Creed. They kind of talk a little bit about the program for the new guys, and then they kind of, if she can ever get the camera back in the tripod. Alright, so basically, they go over everything they need to know. The first thing they did as soon as we were done talking about the program was they took us upstairs to the rec center's upper floor. And this one had an indoor track that went all the way around the building. For us new guys, we actually had to do a test, a running test to see where we were at in fitness. And it was a 1.5 mile run, just like is required. But it's a little bit more lenient. For us guys, it was like 16 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever is what we needed to be to pass. And for girls, it was, I think it was even 18 minutes. So the initial test is a lot easier than the official test, which is like 12 minutes and I think 45 seconds to pass. So I actually managed to do a 14 minute and 58 second mile and a half. So I was well within their passing rate, but still pretty far from passing actual running. So after that, we waited on anybody else who wasn't finished. There was a couple guys that pretty much lagged behind. One guy barely passed. One of the new guys barely passed. They took us downstairs to the basketball gym. And they let us drink some water. And then they did a... I'm trying to see if I have it. Sarah, where's that paper? I think we might as well get this out of the way. Then they did a exercise. I got a book around here somewhere. Okay, she's in the Sea Cadets now, so she has all this information too. They went through all 11 of the standing general orders or whatever, and they called it a game, but I'm pretty sure it was like North Korean torture or something. For those of us who can't exercise real well. So basically what it was, you had 3 options if you were called on. They would give you an order, and you had to either recite it, say you don't know it, or have someone try to save you. Those were the 3 options you had. If you say it, and you get it right, you got to choose which exercise you guys did, and how many you guys do. So, you want to know these things. The second option, you don't know it. The chief petty officer, he comes up with the exercise, and he comes up with how many you do. You don't want that option. That is very painful. The third option is somebody saves you. And if they save you, they say it right, the petty officer, or the chief petty officer, still picks the exercises, but it's about half of what he would have done if you had gotten it right, or wrong, if nobody was able to save you. So, all in all, in this particular instance, we had 1 guy or 2 guys actually know the 11 standing orders. That's the Sailor's Creed, Sarah.
I didn't know you wanted those.
I'm talking about standing orders! Oh, jeez. Bloopers. We're gonna have to deal with you. Anyway.
I don't know where those are at in my book.
Anyway, so basically, long story short, I about died. We only had 2 guys who actually knew most of the standing orders. And me being new, I didn't know them. I've looked over them. I can tell you parts of them, but I can't do it off the top of my head. So they did say, you guys need to know this. It's not really y'all's fault because this is y'all's first time. You didn't know what you needed to know, things like that. And so they didn't humiliate you any, which is nice. But they did still punish you, just like boot camp. If you do something wrong in boot camp, the whole group got punished. So I still had to do it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was very bad at some of the exercises. Towards the end, I pretty much couldn't keep going. And I tried my hardest, and I still did most of them. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do them all. So after the meeting, they say goodbye and all that, but they also say if you have anything you'd like to ask us, stay after and ask us. So, that's what I did. I stayed after and asked them. I said, hey, I floundered out there, and they're like, yeah, we noticed that. And I'm like, what do you suggest me to do at home to get better? And they pulled up this app called NOFS, which is Naval Operations and Fueling something. Here, let me see your phone. So the app it's pretty cool. I can't show you on my phone because it's recording this, but yeah. This is what it is. It's a, if I can actually download it, I'm going to download it because, yeah, go ahead and download it. What it is it shows you the entire PRT regiment that they use for boot camp. And you can actually go on there. It's free for everybody, civilian or military. You go on there and it shows you your routine, what level you are. You can actually change them from easy to hard. Me, I'm a beginner. There's no denying it. And you can also change how long, from 30 minutes, 45 minutes, to an hour. So that is, it's a very helpful tool. And once we can get it pulled up, I'll show you guys kind of what it is and show you some of the exercises. In the meantime, let me go ahead and show you the Sailor's Creed and the 11 standing orders. So the Sailor's Creed you've got to know for boot camp. If you want to be prepared, you got to know it. And you can look it up on the internet. In fact, you can get all this stuff online. But you've got to know this. This is the Sailor's Creed. I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. You need to know this word for word, and you need to be able to know it fairly quick, because it is another way they punish you at depths. They don't call it punishment, they just call it a game. But it's not a game. Let me just throw that out there. Now, the 11 standing orders, if I can ever get my book. Alright. I was not prepared for this, guys. I'm sorry. I am extremely exhausted, so this was kind of a spontaneous video. I got back maybe 30 minutes ago. But I had to get this out there so I could tell you guys everything I knew. So, without forgetting any of it. So, you got them?
You messed up my search program.
Dang.
Go back.
I'm sure my book isn't over there on the bare table. I got a book, an actual hard copy book.
The terrible things we're doing.
Yeah.
Alright, I think this is them.
Alright. So these should be the... Are you sure they're Navy?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
So here are the general orders of the century. These are your orders that you have to follow pretty much at any time. Number 1, to take charge of this post and all government property in view. You have to know these. Each order by the number they come. So that's number one. That is your number one order that you need to, you have to program it into your head that that's number one. Number two, to walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on the alert, and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. Number three, to report all violations of orders I am instructed to enforce. Number four, to repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. Number five, to quit my post only when properly relieved. Number six, to receive, obey, and pass on to the sentry who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer, command duty officer, officer of the deck, and officers and petty officers of the watch only. Number 7, to talk to no one except in the line of duty. Number 8, to give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. Number 9, to call the officer of the deck in any case not covered by instructions. Number 10, to salute all officers and all colors and standards not cased. And 11, to be especially watchful at night and during the time for challenging, to challenge all persons on or near my post, and to allow no one to pass without proper authority. Those are the 11 orders that you need to know, and you need to know them specifically in that order. You can't guess the orders. You have to know them 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 11. You have to know them in that specific order. So those are kind of the things that I learned today. Those are the things that I kind of learned that I need to work on. I will be using that NOFS program. If she has it up right here.
That's the right one.
Yep, that's it. Okay. So you got 3 options. I don't know if you can see this real well.
Let me see if I can turn brightness.
Yeah, turn the brightness down
That
and
helps.
yeah, turn the brightness down and as low as it can.
Try that.
So basically, this app.
You can't see my
Well, zoom in on it.
I am. Sorry guys, we're just kinda...
This was a spontaneous.
It won't let me zoom in. It's
Okay.
being dumb.
So if you kind of see this, this app has library. So it's got pillar prep, movement prep, strength A, strength B, cardio conditioning, and recovery. It has all the exercises they do in the military for boot camp. Routines is going to be your best friend. It gives you a list of different routines that you can do. Submarine series, surface ship series, large deck series, or group training series. It has a meal builder, so you can make sure you get the proper nutrition. And then if you go back here, I would suggest clicking group training, as this is basically what you'll do in boot camp. And it's got everything from warm-ups all the way up to cool-downs, or recovery is what they call it. So these are all what they do. It's all here. And I would suggest definitely using this app, and I definitely will be. So that's all you have to do. Is either you can look up NOFS on the internet or in the Google Play Store or Apple Store. Yeah, I will. And it'll pull up, and it will have several different versions. I picked the very first one, which is the most basic one, because I'm a beginner. I don't need to do any of the other stuff yet until I can actually get the basics down. So I would definitely suggest do that, because it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, the depths really opened my eyes, so to speak, at how hard this is going to be. I didn't think. I'm like, you not knowing anything about the military, and then you go in and do something for a couple hours that they do every day for 2 months. It really opens your eyes, because you're like, oh, this is real. This is how they actually do it. This is what I'm not ready for this, and I'm not. And I thought I was doing it good. I was able to run my 1.5 miles without slowing down, without really walking. But that was about all I was prepared for. My push-ups and sit-ups were nowhere near where they needed to be. So my suggestion, check out the app. I'll have a link to the app in the description. And so, just get out there and start getting ready, because this is not a joke. This is serious business, and they even warned us at depths that for those of us who aren't in the best shape, they had people sent home from boot camp because they couldn't cut it. And me personally, I've worked for the past 6 months to drop almost 30 pounds just to do this. I can't give up now. I can't. And so I hope you guys will see this video and say, hey, I won't give up either. Because this is hard. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I thought, oh, I was in Boy Scouts. I hiked all the time. It's nothing like that. This is a very serious program because you are part of the world's greatest Navy. I truly believe that. And they only want the best. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it. I hope you guys found this helpful. There's going to be probably another video tomorrow. Well, you guys probably see it Wednesday night, maybe, or early Thursday. Because I got to go to Camp Dodge again, which is where I did my MEPS. And I'm taking a test called the D-Labs, which is for linguistics. So if you want to get into intelligence and into linguistics, you have to take that test. So I'll do another video over what that test was like and how you can prepare for it, because it's not exactly something that there's no study guide, there's nothing like that. It's something that you have to really feel like you have a calling in to try to do. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this, or found it helpful at least. And like I said, keep a heads up for new videos, and I'll see you guys next time.